thing is not to do things piecemeal. If we just continue to do things piecemeal, the dependency of the study, it kind of begins to defeat the purpose a little bit. I mean, I understand when things change, or, you know, I'm sure there might be some discretionary things that you want to bring up to the board, but it kind of makes sense to me to kind of hinge it on whether things have changed, or, you know, certainly if there's some sort of incident, I think we want to look at that as well.
Or a bus stop gets implemented, changed, not all of a sudden the crosswalk's too close, or, you know, there's environmental change, a bike share, you know, gets docked there, and that's something that's just changed. Trustee McKay?
Yeah, I feel like the memo was really informative and provides the context needed in this situation. And I would support putting things of this nature on hold. And so with that, I would like to make a motion to defer action on parking and transportation requests submitted to the village until conclusion of the 2019 parking and transportation analysis.
Does that
Can I suggest a small add-on to that for your consideration, Trustee McKay, as you complete your motion? Which would be that, you know, staff would also review any requests submitted, and if in the opinion of staff there is a concern or an incident that has been
a change in condition?
A change in that environment, we would then bring forth that.
Yes, as stated in the memo, I would also.
Great. There's wonderful wording in the memo, Taylor.
But then when you read the motion and you don't know what it is.
Great, I move.
Oh, no, we could include some of them.
Oh, I see. You can just leave it at the title.
If there is a physical or surrounding environmental change, in the staff's opinion, the matter will be brought to the village board for consideration prior to conclusion of the study.
So I would support that addition to the motion. Do you still second? Yes.
Okay. Trustee Mata.
Okay, I have a question on number 2. It says, "Will be installing signage to create a 15-foot of no parking on the south side of the alley." Is that 15 feet total?
Both sides.
Both sides, so 15 feet on either side of the
Correct.
housing. Okay, I'm going to vote no on this motion because I feel like the public came forward. With this particular instance, and they felt it was you know, a safety issue for them. There are blind exits, and there are other ones in the village I could think of, and I understand their concern. And I don't feel that we need to constrain ourselves in terms of, you know, I mean, we may be telling groups of residents, we're just not going to talk about that now. And we did have a procedure for dealing with these things, which was it went to the Public Works Committee, was discussed in the Public Works Committee. So we haven't had a procedure since April, but prior to then we did have a procedure for dealing with these things.
Well, we could deal with it at the board. Rebecca's asking us to change that.
To change what?
So instead of considering them, whether it's at committee or board, because we have a change in condition, we have a comprehensive plan going on, a study.
Well, I understand that, but my personal feeling is I don't feel like if a group of residents comes and has organized and had a petition and they feel strongly about it, that I feel like I don't see why we should constrain ourselves in terms of what we're willing to consider. So I'm voting no, but that's just me. And
Are you vote? So.
It's okay to vote no.
No,
It's good. It's good. I were talking about number 2, so I got confused.
It's well thought out. You've reflected.
So we don't need to act on you moving forward with, is it number 2 for this instance? Okay, so we're just acting on
I
it.
just had a question about that.
Okay.
And then I stated my reasons for voting no.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none. Was there a motion?
There's a motion and a second, so you can take a vote.
Okay, does anyone need a motion read? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
6-1, motion carries. Thank you. The next agenda item is reports of village officials. And I just wanted to say that I had a nice conversation with the North Shore Laundry owner. He asked to meet and discuss how we can promote small businesses outside of our community rather than just to our community. And So he's also interested in being on a committee. I asked him if he would. He was, and he wasn't going to at first, but he will be putting in an application, and which is great. He's more involved with more small businesses is fabulous, or at least interest. And I also got a call this morning from a broker who has a client that's interested in the Ruckus property. So, and just to follow up, they do have, I think it's more of a 5-year lease, they're looking to sublease it. And then there's an option to renew it for longer and continue subleasing it. I think you got the same information probably from your meeting.
I have not done that, however, I meet with them on Friday.
So I'll give you more details, but
Great.
just want to let the board know. I think that's all I have.
Are you working with the bid then, or
On
the individual that contacted you for the ruckus?
they just had a question on the liquor license.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, I think that's my third one. Trustee Menta.
Yeah, I met with our library director about the Civic Information Center, that Rebecca informed us that someone had stolen everything off of there. I think except for the marketing study, but anyway, so.
Sorry, I didn't go back on
I'm not being obnoxious, I think that was the only one left on the top. So, I mean, maybe
If the same ones at the library were in big trouble.
there's someone who's like extremely interested in Shorewood happenings and going on. But anyway, so we did look at a couple of alternative locations for it, and possibly, doing it in a different way, more of being on the shelves, and I don't know. So we looked at a couple different options for it. And also, could we do more of like a digital, like for this document, go have something set up so you can digitally access some of these plans and documents, although it is nice to have the physical things there. So anyway, I did talk to her about it, and we did a little bit of thinking, but we haven't come to any conclusions. And if anybody has any ideas about, alternatives for it or alternative spaces, let me know.
And it was both places, right? The library and the service center.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it was odd.
it's not like they're not well manned. I mean, there's people around all the time.
It's a big heist.
We should add up that fiscal note.
Popular, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Normally.
Hanging out in the
He's like,
woods.
This is your secret closet.
I think it was the Whitefish Bay board came down and.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's it. You need
Yeah.
another secret.
We get joking initially.
They are envious of us,
Like
so.
a beautiful.
Like, he was the clerk.
You're holding it for granted.
He was a
Random location.
Okay, that's all I have.
Trust me, okay.
Just report that the Human Relations Commission met last week, and it was their first meeting where they broke into their work groups, and the plan was that they were going to submit notes from their work group meetings, and it worked, they did, and Tyler got them out, and there's some really good things starting to be discussed. So.
And interesting, I just got a report back from a member, because I didn't get to go, but the subcommittees have external members too. I didn't realize, and one of them was like Greater Milwaukee.
Really good, yeah.
Like important,
Yeah.
we're getting some really big interest.
You're really good.
Yeah, some really good sharing and collaboration happening there.
Yeah. Any other trustee? Trustee Warren and then trustee Box.
I just wanted to report that I had the opportunity to attend the Firearm Safety Expo put on by Common Ground at MEPC South Campus at Creek last week Wednesday.
Thank you.
Really interesting discussion attended by the mayor, county executive, state representative, about using technology and using kind of smart guns. And it was really interesting for me. I'm not a gun owner, I've never owned a gun, I don't know anything about guns. It was a very interesting discussion as to where technology can lead us in terms of making guns safer and reducing gun violence.
Great, thanks for going.
My pleasure.
Trustee Buckhorst and then McKay.
So a couple of things. So Public Art Committee, we heard the update, so I'm really excited about the work they're doing, and they're very excited about this project too. And I heard that they're gonna be, I don't know, working with, but maybe sharing more with Arts Wisconsin, which is an organization, statewide organization. Ann Katz is the exec director. She's in Madison. She does
What's
a
the
lot
group, I'm
of
sorry, what's the group called?
Arts Wisconsin.
Okay.
And they provide actually grants and a lot of recognition to municipalities across the state. So hopefully, you know, maybe this will be an opportunity for us to be showcased for free. So there's that. I attended the gala for the inauguration on the 7th, and I saw Trustee Carpenter there. I hope you were, I'm sure you were excused from this event.
She was.
It was, you know, a very interesting time, of course. I apologize for not really thinking about this in advance, that maybe going forward, 4 years from now, we don't have the board meeting the same day as with the next celebration, just so that everyone could attend. And I wish I had had off that day as well and taken my son to all the inauguration events that have been going on. Because, you know, it's quite a great process. So there's that. Let's see, a couple of other things. The League Wisconsin Municipalities, along with Wisconsin Women in Government, had their, I think it's the second or third annual Celebrating Women in Government event in Madison. That was just a couple days after the gala, so like the 9th or so of January. It was well attended. It was a packed house. The law offices of on the Capitol Square. So really good, you know, attendance, and it was fantastic. So that's hopefully, you know, the beginning of much more collaborative opportunities with the state legislature and also, you know, across all aspects of government down to the local. Let's see, Rent, the Shorewood High School is performing Rent starting on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tickets are still available. You mentioned the Common Ground event, and unfortunately I couldn't attend, but I'm glad that you were there. And we all passed that resolution a while back, you know, so this is one of the kind of part of the commitment that we promised the organization is that we would, you know, attend workshops when possible, you know, and learn more about their initiatives. And then I'll also be speaking with the exec director, who is a Shorewood resident, about looking at ways to perhaps sync up what we do with the League of Wisconsin Municipalities and also some of our legislative agenda items. And then finally, most importantly, it was my birthday last Friday, so I'm still waiting for all my cards from you guys.
I told you it's
Happy birthday!
Maybe you send them to my old address, so.
Yes, they're being delivered. They're being rerouted as we speak. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And Trustee Carter.
Yesterday, I actually with my kids volunteered with an organization called TOME, which is Students for Toddlers on a Mission, and it was started by a resident, a Shorewood resident, and several other Shorewood families were there. But it was really a service project to make bags for homeless individuals, and worked with the organization called Bob's Under the Bridge. But they are interested in partnering with the village and figuring out some potential other service projects that could be done with the communities.
Do you refer that just to home?
TOME, T-O-A-M.
What do we do with those?
I'd be happy to follow up with Trustee Carpenter.
Oh, great, thank you. Anything else?
I was gonna make an announcement, but I'm just gonna email you guys a flyer about an event that's happening Thursday evening.
Okay. Now we're all suspense.
Oh, well, okay, it's related to the Milwaukee County's initiatives around youth justice reform, and as Milwaukee County residents, you might be interested to keep up on that. So there's a flyer attached. It's partly timely because the state passed Act 185 legislation to close Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake schools, so it is tied with that, but it's part of the overall initiative for youth justice reform that's been going on for about 6 years.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, I forgot one last thing. The Wisconsin Policy Forum annual meeting is this Thursday from 5 to 7 at the Wisconsin Club. If you would like an invite, I can forward it on to you. There is a cost associated, but it's a dinner.
Thursday, was
Thursday from 5 to 7 at the Wisconsin Club. $25 for members, $35 for non, but includes drinks for members. And a lot of great policy talk.
Excellent. Do you know what the topic is?
Yes, let's see. They're gonna have a conversation with Wisconsin Department of Administration Secretary Joel Brennan, who'll be discussing the upcoming state budget and the policy changes and priorities of the new administration. We'll also provide our own analysis of the state's fiscal condition and budget issues. In addition to this provocative policy-related program, we'll preview the 2019 research project and formally swear in the officer. So it's a business meeting and an informative session, and I will be there. So if anyone would like to join our table, let me know.
Thank you. Okay, with that, if there's no other updates, do you have anything, Rebecca? No. And are we doing items for future, yeah, items for future consideration? Does anyone have any items for future consideration? Trustee Menta?
We had talked at our last meeting about a board planning session